So let's talk about cancellation fees. Cancellation fees. I was talking to someone about these cancellation fees yesterday, and she was like, "Oh, Chi, you're using Oyibo standards to run your business. You're using, foreign standards to run your business." And I explained that there's no such thing. You always have to make sure that you're protecting your business and you're minimizing risk that leads to losing money. So last week we had a client who booked our service. So when we got to this client's place on the appointed day, which was the next day, the client did not give us access. The client did not pick up his calls, and we could not have access into the estate. We stayed outside waiting for about 2 hours, and after 2 hours he still was not picking up his calls, and there was no one to give us access. We had to leave. Now, after we left, the client called us about 3 hours later to say, oh, he was sleeping, he was with his girlfriend and he was sleeping, and that was why he was not able to reach us or pick up his calls, because he got carried away. And we said, okay, that's fine, sir, but this now means that you would have to pay a cancellation fee. And he was like, oh, why do I have to pay a cancellation fee? Can't you just come back and do it? And we're like, no, we cannot, sir, because we are behind time now. This is a project that is supposed to take 7 to 8 hours, and now you're calling 3 hours after the project is supposed to have started, which means there will be a delay in delivering the project, which means it was, if we were to come back at this time, this project is going to get into another day, which we cannot do. So we told him that our policy, which was also in our invoice, states that if we come to a client's house and we try to reach you after 2 hours, if we are unable to reach you and you don't give us access to start working at the place, we are going to require that you pay a 40% cancellation fee, 40% of the overall project amount. So the client was shocked, and he was like, oh, please, I should have missed. I was like, there's no such thing, because we had other clients that were supposed to book our service, but we reserved the date for you. When you made the booking, we reserved that date exclusively for you. We have spent resources going to your estate. We've spent resources staying there. We've stayed there for hours, nothing happened, and then we spent resources going back. We spent money on our logistics going back to our base without doing any work after the 2 hours which we tried to contact you. So it would seem like this was really harsh to the client, right? But this is our way of minimizing risk. There are so many situations where a cleaner would even get to the site, and the client will say, okay, I'm no longer interested in cleaning today, please come back a different day. And this client does not realize that they have inconvenienced you and your business. You have spent resources coming to that site on that day, and it's going to be a loss for your business. The reason we ask for a cancellation fee is so that we can rebook that client for a different date. We will tell him, okay, we have so date available, would you like us to rebook you for this other date? Now, if that client insists that he does not want to pay a cancellation fee, we will take it that booking has been fulfilled. It is in our invoice where we stated that if in the event of cancellation, late cancellation, the client refused to pay a cancellation fee to rebook for a different day, we will take it that booking has been fulfilled. And it's well within our rights, because it's in our invoice, it's in our terms and conditions which we sent to the client during the booking. So the essence of that cancellation fee is not to run away with the client's money, is not to punish the client, is to cover up for the expenditures we made going to that site, or for the clients that we lost, the money we lost from the clients we would have booked on that date which the client missed. That's the essence of the cancellation fee. Now, if you do not charge a client a booking deposit, just know that you cannot charge a cancellation fee. You can kiss cancellation fee goodbye. It would only make sense when you charge that client a booking deposit. The client paid the booking deposit, you hold on to the booking deposit with your invoice that states that there are no refunds on booking deposits. So the client will have to be forced to pay for a booking for a cancellation fee in order to get another date to book. I hope this is well understood. For every client that booked, we already have someone else who wants to book for that date. So when we reserve the date exclusively for you, it means we are turning down other clients that we would have booked for that day. So which was the same thing that happened with this guy. We had other clients who wanted to book for that day, but we took his booking in. So what happened that day is that now we have lost his own booking. We were not able to service him. Even though he has paid, we were not able to service him. And the clients we were supposed to have service for that day, we were not able to service them as well. Our team went back home doing absolutely nothing. And trust me, we don't like it when our team goes back home doing absolutely nothing, because they are on salary. At the end of the month, we pay them salary. So we cannot afford to just have them just dilly-dallying around and not doing anything. Work has to be done. So if a client changes their mind that they don't want us to work on that day that we all agreed to work on, we have the right to charge a cancellation fee, and we charge the cancellation fee to which that client paid. Now, the week before this situation also happened, we got to the client's place. The client said he doesn't want to clean anymore because there were some workers working in the site, and we cannot clean while artisans are working on the site. So the client asked us to leave, and we said no, if we leave and to come back on that day, we are going to charge a cancellation fee. And he said this was fine by him, and he paid the cancellation fee. This other client also paid his cancellation fee. Another thing I would advise is to have this cancellation fee policy on your invoice. Let's try to avoid a situation where clients play us around or waste our time, because trust me, anytime they do this, we are losing money. We are going through a lot of expenses. And it's worse when the client did not make a deposit payment, because they could completely change their mind when you get to the site, and then you'll be totally messed up. You would make a lot of losses. So I advise you use cancellation fee to minimize losses. If a client decides, in a cancellation fee policy on our invoice, we stated that if you give us a notice less than 24 hours of cancellation, we are going to charge you a 40% cancellation fee of the total amount that you paid. For the total amount of the project charged. So if you want to cancel, that is no problem, but at least give us good notice. Give us notice at least days before, at least before 24 hours. Give us at least before 24 hours of the project's date to cancel. So you can cancel like 2 days ahead, or so days ahead, so that we can be able to take on other clients to replace the day that we were supposed to service you. That way our business does not make a loss. I hope it makes sense to you guys. So this is how we operate. So the cost of PMS right now. Previously, our service buses, we fill up the tanks with about 5,400, but right now we're filling up our tanks with about 26,000 naira for each of our logistic buses, which means we cannot afford to go anywhere for free, which means we cannot afford to move anywhere without calculating our risk. So if we're going to a client's place, it's a definite thing that we're servicing that client for that day, because we're consuming and spending fuel and resources going there, and we're also losing out on other clients that we are supposed to book for that day to replace that client that wanted to cancel if the client gives us a late notice. So clients, if you want to cancel, that there is no problem, but cancel in enough time so that we have the opportunity of taking other clients who are ready to book for that day to replace your own booking. It's very unfair that you would expect that you will cancel up on us even when we arrive on site. After we spend resources coming on site, you decide to cancel on us while we are on site. It doesn't make sense. Or if you decide to cancel on us on the same day your booking is supposed to be done, it's very unfair, and we as business owners have to protect ourselves. Business is really tough right now with the condition of the country, the economic condition of the country. So the least we can do is to protect ourselves, protect our businesses by enforcing a cancellation fee if you're a service business. If a client cancels, he or she should be made to pay a certain percentage of a cancellation fee so that you can come back a different day. At least that will cover up for your staff salary for that day that you didn't work, and that would also cover up for the petrol or that will also cover up for the logistics cost, the cost of logistics of you going to the client site. Because it's even worse when you don't have staff buses like us, or when the distance is quite a far distance. By the time you get there, you've consumed about 20 liters of fuel, 10 liters of fuel, 5 liters of fuel going and coming. So it's a lot of expense. So it's not an expense a business should bear. The client who cancels should be the one to bear it. So this is not using of foreign standards. This is just risk management. This is just a way to protect your business against losses. So has this situation ever happened to you, and how did you manage it, and what do you think about these cancellation fees? Now, we've been using these cancellation fees for a while, since 2022. We brought them in mid-2022, and they have really helped to discipline our clients. They have really helped to help control situations like this, so we don't run into so much losses. I think you should try it out for your service business. If you run a cleaning company or any other service business, I really think you should try cancellation fees out. Bye, guys.